You back to Black Site tonight. We're going to talk about the Democrats came into the Republicans on the government shutdown. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. 8 rogue Democrats decided to cave to the Republicans on the government shutdown. After 40 days of fighting, they have decided to give in to the Trump and the MAGA crew. They have basically received nothing in return. Basically, a vote on the ACA, also that they will fund the Agriculture Department, the Veterans Department, but there is really nothing that the Democrats have received after 40 days. And this is truly a defeat for Chuck Schumer if it goes through. Now they had the first procedural vote, which was 60-40 to end the filibuster. They have a few more votes before they can send it back to the House and see if they pass it. Then it goes to the president's desk. So they thinking by the middle of the week, the government shutdown could possibly be over. But what did the Democrats do this for? Possibly to win the 2025 special elections. It wasn't a midterm election. But that's all they're going to get for this government shutdown. The Republicans are going to keep the big, beautiful bill in its form. We don't know what's going to happen with the ACA. We know the Department of Agriculture and SNAP will be funded to next year. So basically, Trump and the Republicans are getting everything that they want, and it's a defeat for Chuck Schumer. He couldn't keep his caucus in line like Hakeem Jeffries did in the House. And that's not a good look right now for Chuck Schumer. Dick Durbin, Tim Kaine, Maggie Hassan, all these people have decided to jump ship. Yes, we know that Tim Kaine is from Virginia, which is a huge, huge area for the government workers. But Dick Durbin, Maggie Hassan, Angus King, a couple of senators from Nevada, all these guys decided to jump ship. You couldn't hold your caucus together. And now people are calling for Chuck Schumer's job, that it's time for them to move on. And after this government shutdown has failed for Democrats, expect for AOC to enter the Senate race against Chuck Schumer. Now, there is a few ways that they can possibly stop this, but now that the filibuster is over and the American people see that 8 Democrats decided to cross the line, they're going to say, finish it off. Because there have been so many people who have been harmed in this bill. Government workers will get their pay. They will get their back pay. And some of them will be rehired. The ones who were fired by Trump during the government shutdown, they will get their jobs back. This is a victory for John Thune, a victory for President Trump, because they actually got what they what they wanted. All they're getting is a vote on the ACA. And as Trump said, he wanted to bring in health savings account instead of Obamacare. He basically said everybody know Obamacare is nothing but a slush fund for the healthcare companies in which they rip off the American people. But there are going to be 40 other Democrats who are going to be extremely angry, especially those in their caucus who decided not to hold strong. And this looks bad for the Democrat Party after they had the high ground after winning the election. This is a bad look. So if the if the shutdown ends, this is a huge cave for the Democrats. The Democrats usually win the government shutdown. Clinton, Obama, they didn't have too many under Joe Biden because there were 13 continuing resolutions. But this one right here looks extremely bad for Democrats. That the shutdown is possibly going to end and you receive basically nothing but a handshake and a promise to have a vote. That's it. This is what this was all about for 40 days. But when you go into a shutdown, you have to receive something that is tangible that you can take back to your party and the American people. All you're taking back is a vote. Yes, some workers get rehired. Yes, they get their back pay. Yes, a few departments will be funded until the end of next year. But this doesn't look good for the Democrat Party right now. They look weak after this shutdown. Trump looks stronger. Thune looks stronger. Mike Johnson looks stronger. That they held the line for 40 days. They took the heat, took the pressure, and now they're going to receive more support from the Democrats. Bernie Sanders, the squad, and them said you must not cave to Trump. But they just did cave to Trump. It was so much pressure from the airline industry, from the government workers union, the American people, and plus you have the Thanksgiving break coming up. They don't want to see the government shutdown during that period of time when it's time to make money. You see, they had the fund snap, and you see what was happening at the grocery stores yesterday. So right now, Chuck Schumer is in a position to where his party, and especially the people on social media, is going to be coming for his head. And he has to know it. This doesn't look good for him right now. It looks extremely bad. This right now could end Chuck Schumer's reign as leader of the Democrat Party in the Senate. They're going to want a young, stronger leader. And I'm telling you right now, this cave and this desertion by 8 Democrats just does not look good. But the Democrats and Chuck Schumer. Hopefully the shutdown ends. Hopefully the government workers get their money. Hopefully they vote on ACA so we can have this done until the end of the midterm elections next year. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. Hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button, but also share this video.